will first say a few words. Afterwards, the floor will be open to questions. Please limit yourselves to 2 questions during the Q&A session. The Chief Executive, please. Good morning, everyone. The 7th District Council election concluded successfully on Sunday. I hereby congratulate again to the District Committee constituencies members as well as the District Council geographical constituencies members elected. There were in total 264 of them. About 1.2 million voters came out to vote. The correct figure should be about 1.193 million voters. I thank again all the voters for casting their ballots. The new term district councils will include council members from different backgrounds. They're all professional and they will contribute to the district. They will pragmatically take care of the needs of residents of different communities. We won't see any more destructive district council members or pan-politicized district councils or council members that betray the values of the country or the community. The new term of DCs will be composed of the elected members, appointed members, as well as the ex officio members. There will be in total 470 DC members. For appointed members, I have already made the appointment. The list of appointed members will, together with the list of ex officio members, announced in this afternoon. And the lists will be gazetted within this week. We stick to the meritocracy principle as we appoint members, and we take into account connection with the community as we appointed members. We are going to appoint 179 patriots to be members of the DCs. They enthusiastically take part in community affairs. They will effectively enhance the services provided in the districts. They come from different backgrounds, including engineering sector, labor sector, as well as from the professional bodies. Appointed members also include representatives of the ethnic minority. The appointed members are mostly young to middle-aged people. The one that is youngest is 23 years old, and the oldest one is 47. 27 incumbent rural committee chairmen have successfully registered as ex officio members. The relevant committee has already confirmed the validity of the registrations and that they have met the statutory requirement of bearing allegiance to the SAR of the PRC. The new term government will take a pragmatic approach and they will bring about 3 values. First, the DCs will see competent members from different backgrounds. The new term of DCs will see patriots and those who aspire to serve the community taking part in the district councils through different channels. DC members can use their expertise, knowledge, and they will work and complement with each other to achieve the effect of 1 plus 1 bigger than 2. Second, there will be DC members that will perform due diligence. All DC members will be patriots. They won't be agents of foreign power. They will not betray the interests or benefits of the community. They will focus on community affairs. They will take a pragmatic approach and work with the government, and in line with the policies, they will offer assistance and support to local residents. Residents who need help can seek support from them. we have a new monitoring mechanism of DC members' performance to ensure that all DC members work in due diligence. We will ensure that DC members won't slack and that they will work hard to serve the communities and resolve any problems in the community. We will have an effective monitoring mechanism as well as penalty mechanism. Citizens can reflect their opinions on the district councils to the government. Thirdly, we're going to uphold the Patriots Administering Hong Kong principle. This new term of DCs fulfills the last mile to the implementation of Patriots Administering Hong Kong principles. There were a couple of large-scale elections, including the LegCo election, the chief executive election, as well as the district council election. The Patriots Administering Hong Kong principle has enshrined in all levels. We will ensure that there won't be any foreign agents working at these levels, and this is a prerequisite of ensuring the stability of Hong Kong. The new term of DCs will assume office on the January 1st, 2024. That is about 3 weeks later. The government will arrange for the new DC members to take oath. To ensure that the new DC members will be familiar with their duties as soon as possible, in the coming 3 weeks, the SAR government will hold training sessions for them. The Secretary for Home and Youth Affairs will lead these sessions and give talks. The 18 district councils will be chaired by the district officers as chairman. And the new DC members will attend training sessions and meetings. This is to ensure that on the 1st of January 2024, when they assume office, they will take forward their work as soon as possible. I hope that the 264 newly elected members in the coming new year will bring about a new scenario for our citizens. They will take a pragmatic approach. They will work hard and enthusiastically. They will help the government take forward the policies and reinforce the improved district governance. Thank you. We now open the floor to questions. Please raise your hand and identify the organizations that you represent. Please limit yourselves to 2 questions. First, the lady at the front. Good morning, Chief Executive. I'm from Now TV. I'd like to ask about the turnout of the district council elections. Does that meet your expectation? Some say that the turnout rate among middle class is relatively low. Will you conduct surveys to understand the views of citizens? When you report duty to Beijing in December, will you discuss this with the officials there? Also, I'd like to ask about the system glitch. Does that involve any hacking activities or system failure? Would you hold Mr. Eric Tsang, Secretary for Constitution and Mainland Affairs, or the Chairman of EAC, Mr. David Locke, accountable? I'm glad that the election concluded successfully on Sunday. Media reports mentioned a lot about the turnout rate. I think we should focus on the district councils. What kind of members have been elected? We should focus on the future work of the DCs, how they are going to better meet the needs of members of the general public. That's of my utmost concern. We have done a lot of publicity work because we want people to know that the new term of DCs is completely different from that in the past. It's going to be very constructive. It will take the community as well as the country's interests into account. It won't be destructive like before. It won't resist the governance of the SAR government or the central government. To put it simply, the new term of DCs will serve the public and will help us take forward the government's policy. This is the most important purpose. It was great that voters came out to vote enthusiastically. The computer system failed, however. There were still a lot of people that lined up to vote. We switched to printed registers, but the operation met our requirement. Under such circumstances, voters still managed to fulfill their civic obligation.
In terms of the election, each election will be conducted in accordance with the rules and the way in which a candidate canvasses the votes will certainly make a difference to the turnout rate. And I'm sure that whether there would be any heated subjects would also make a difference to the situation. Close to 1.2 million people turn out to cast their ballots. I'm happy with that. I'm also grateful to them for exercising their civic duty, for showing that they are passionate about the place they are living in. Most importantly, the candidates elected will be pragmatic, and they will be reaching out to the residents and work for the livelihood and interests of the residents there. Each year, I'll be visiting Beijing for a duty visit. I'll be briefing the leaders on all the issues, and the district council election is a significant issue that will be covered in my duty visit. As to the computer glitch, I've already told the media on the evening, nobody wanted to see this happen. But we have all the contingency to cater for all the eventualities. The computer glitches that we didn't want to see happen did happen, and for different reasons. There were delays to the voting process. So the contingency plan covers all kinds of eventualities, the power blackout, flooding, natural disaster, and so on. Now, after the event, within 30 minutes, we have activated our Plan B. And that was the swiftest response that we could have made in that kind of situation. I have directed a review of the whole thing, and a task force will be set up to look into the computer glitches with a view to addressing all these issues and to make sure that all the future elections and arrangements will be made better. From our preliminary analysis, we didn't see anything untoward regarding the computer system, but we need to have the experts and also the computer forensic experts to look into the matter. So I'll be asking the police to be involved, because they will also look into the computer issue and also to look into any possibility of cyber attacks. I have communicated with the EAC chair on this one and conduct investigation into these computer glitches as soon as possible. We can have an interim report. We'll have a look at the findings of the report before we take any further decision. The gentleman on the right, on the left, please.
Questions from the South China Morning Post. Firstly, the district council election on Sunday had the lowest election turnout since the handover. Does this low voter turnout mean that the new district council system has low legitimacy with the public? And how would the government justify the cost of promoting this district council election? The second question, how would the government plan to overcome voter indifference in the coming elections? And do you believe that this persistent situation would be unhealthy going forward? Thank you.
We had about 1.2 million voters coming out to vote. I think that was a good turnout. First of all, I think each election has its own characteristics. The enhanced and improved district council election system has the merits of producing the most qualified and competent district council members to contribute to the well-being of the district. And there are, of course, people who are still trying to sabotage the election. You can see that both the ICAC and the police have arrested people who dare to contravene the law to, in some way, incite people not to come out to vote. So there was resistance by people who have been rejected by the system because they are not qualified or they do not subscribe to the same principle, which is patriots administering Hong Kong. So there's still some people who somehow are still immersed in the wrong idea of trying to make the district council a political platform for their own political means, achieving their own gains rather than the district's gain. And there are still people who have ideas that represent as if he's an agent of a foreign country. So this kind of soft resistance still exists. Then, of course, some voters haven't come out to vote for different reasons. But obviously, those who try to sabotage the election, they still exist. And of course, they will be trying to do anything they can to make the election not successful. But the turnout of 1.2 million voters have indicated that they supported the election, they supported the principles, and they supported the idea of the new district council will be producing good candidates, good district council members for the overall good of each district. What is most important, I want society to focus on, is what the election will produce. We have already passed the election process. It is important we focus our attention on the outcome of the election. And the outcome will mean a constructive district council rather than what used to be a destructive one. The outcome will be district council members who will be monitored for their performance to ensure that they do well, rather than previously some district council members pursue their own political interests, sabotage the system, and reacted against the governance of the Hong Kong government or the central government. So the new district council will be one that will be constructive, that will be focusing on livelihood issues, on local issues, on district matters. And the new district council members will be helping those who live in the district when they have problems they want to solve. The district council members will be readily available to give their help. This is what is important. And the new monitoring performance system will be announced in regard to the details, and people living in the district are very welcome to join in the monitoring system so that all the district council members will be performing to their best for the interest of the local people. We did what we need to do to promote the new district council system because it is different. I want people to know the big differences of being constructive versus destructive, taking care of people's interests, taking care of their own political interests, and sometimes acting as agents of foreign forces. It is also important to tell them the big difference of this district council will produce members who will be from different background, different sectors, different professions, who will be more representative, more connected to the district, and of course, more committed to bring overall good to district residents. It is important because we have now turned over a new leaf. So this is going to be what will be good for Hong Kong. And that message has to be loud and clear and received by people of Hong Kong.
時間關係咧，我哋解答今朝早。
In the interest of time, we'll take the last question from reporters. The lady at the front, please. Good morning, Chief Executive. I'm from Singtel. I'd like to ask about the system glitch. The report will be submitted by the EAC within 3 months. Will you deal with it in a special manner instead of sticking to the usual practice of asking them to submit the report within 3 months? Also, from the results of the elections, we see that bigger political parties have a high success rate, and smaller parties, they will probably have to get the support of rural committee to win. Will that boycott individual candidates or those without the support of big parties? Thank you. I have talked about this with the chairman of the EAC. According to the Electoral Affairs Commission ordinance, the EAC will have to submit a report within 3 months after the election. We saw this system glitch this time, and we attach great importance to the issue. Therefore, I asked the Commission to provide an interim report. The interim report will take about 6 weeks to complete. In this regard, the chairman of the EAC will, as soon as practicable, ensure that the investigation committee take forward their work. We have a senior counsel to lead the investigation task force to ensure that their work can be completed as soon as possible. We also ask people experienced in investigating this type of matters to join the task force so that we don't roll out any options in investigating the cause of the incident, and we strive to come up with proposals to improve the situation. We may be able to come up with initial analysis, and any thoughts like these will be included in the interim report. I thank the chairman of the EAC for attaching importance to this issue. I will ensure that the investigation will be conducted in a speedy manner. We have improved district governance now. In terms of the design, well, I want to make sure that the election is conducted in a fair and just manner. Secondly, all candidates will have to be patriots. They have to have the affection for the SAR government as well as the country. That means they have to bear allegiance to the basic law as well as the SAR government. Thirdly, we want to make sure that the elected district council members will be pragmatic, be they from professional backgrounds or from the community. What matters is that they will be pragmatic, even if they already have strong ties with the community. The purpose of the election is that we want to elect excellent members of the DCs. It doesn't matter which organizations they come from. What matters is that we want to elect competent, enthusiastic, and aspiring candidates to serve the community. We want to achieve the effect of 1 + 1 greater than 2. That's the design of the improved systems. Certainly, the results of the election will please someone and not the others. You can look at it from different perspectives. What matters is that whether we can, through the election, elect members that are enthusiastic, competent, and can deliver results. Thank you. That's all for the PC today. Thank you.